Hi everyone. I wanted to talk to you about a difficult subject. It's about why I lost interest in K-pop. I'll do the best as I can to explain it. I'll tell a short little story uh, about why I liked it in the past, but how things changed where I lost interest in it. When I was a senior in high school and transitioning to community college, I remember I spent a lot of time scrolling on YouTube trying to find different genre music, and all of a sudden, I found a lot of K-pop music, and I remember looking at many different artists like PSY, GNA, Rainbow, Kara, and Hana, and I remember when I was listening to them, I really liked it because they're very creative on the music. It was kind of funky, and sometimes they were very silly with making the videos, which made me laugh sometimes. Um, but not only that I really liked about their work, I really liked on sometimes on how they made their songs have some sort of little life messages about how it's okay to be unique, creative. If you're socially awkward, it doesn't mean you're a bad person, and about kindness, compassion. And I really liked listening to that. Besides the music, I was really inspired by their continue their work on trying to advocate for the rights of the disabled, trying to promote people not to use hate and bigotry against people with disabilities. And that really amazed me a lot because it's very rare to see many Asians or Asian Americans, especially Koreans, who are very kind to people with disabilities because many of them aren't appreciative of people with disabilities. Many of them like to use bigotry and hate. So I was really um, moved and inspired by many of these artists that I previously mentioned because they really did inspire me because I simply have an autism spectrum since I was born through currently. I've always dealt with getting bullied for struggling with a disability, or if I struggle with social cues, I have difficulty performing tasks, including comprehending on advanced materials in a fast-paced environment, and I struggle with friendships, and sometimes I feel like I'm awkward all the time where people can make fun of me, and and it was a really challenging time when I was teased a lot during that time, and I would spend time listening to these artists and these K-pop groups that I previously mentioned because they were very inspirational to me. They helped um, me when I had difficult times, and when I listened to the music, when I listened to the creativity, it always reminded me that it's okay if I'm socially awkward. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. You can just be silly or unique or try to be yourself, and that was really good. And also, I dealt a lot of times where I struggled on motivating myself to work on improving healthy lifestyles, like whether it's exercising, trying to eat healthy food, and whether some of these artists or these K-pop groups that previously listened to, where they were being advertisements promoting healthy lifestyle, I remember watching it and I would say, I'm going to just try to be like them. And it was pretty fun in that time. But as I started to regress in life, I started to find it to be more of a challenge to really like this genre music was I was getting teased by many people, especially some of my friends, including some other people who really like K-pop. They always tease me about being a disabled person who really liked to listen to this genre, and it was a really challenge too. There were also times that I dealt where I was teased by some Asians and some Asian Americans where they make fun of me for being interested in listening to K-pop girl groups because they thought I was like weird or had some weird fetish, and that they were also telling me that I was basically am a retard just because I like listening to them, and I had tried my best as I can to express good intentions, saying like, I like listening to these girl K-pop groups because I like their creativity, I like their activism on trying to advocate for good policies, including human rights, along with the rights of the disabled. I like, and also I told them that sometimes it's hard for me to relate to male K-pop singers sometimes too, and much as I had tried my best as I can to communicate the good intentions, I was basically teased, I was spit at, I was made fun of, and that. Also, another reason why I started to lose more interest in the K-pop genre was I live in my hometown in up in Michigan, and during the fall and winter seasons, there'd be a lot of dance groups that would dance to K-pop music, and they would have events where people come and watch them, including at these Asian culture shows. And I remember I used to go watch them a lot, but I was being bullied by people at these events. I was teased by many of the members of the dancing group that danced to these K-pop. I was teased for simply having struggling with autism spectrum. I was made fun of for having disability. I dealt with getting spit at, and people calling me names like retard, ugly, slowpoke, just because I liked K-pop. Um, Also, what really made a big change for me to lose interest in this genre was many of the previous K-pop groups, including the artists that I previously mentioned, were disbanded. Many of them were out of the media. Many of them were not very popular anymore, and they started adding so many of these new K-pop groups, including these new K-pop artists, and I try to listen to them much as I can, but I didn't really like it that much. Was because I really didn't like and how many of them were had bigoted views against people with disabilities. Some of them um, had promoted anti-disability stigma, not in the music, but just outside the music, which really got me a little bit disappointed and anger, and sometimes what is really hard for me to talk about is when I see celebrities or pop stars when they try to promote bigotry and hate against people with disabilities or try to promote anti-disability stigma, it changes other people around me or sometimes people in general where they can say, oh, it's cool that we can bully somebody with a disability or we can use hateful views against them, and it makes me very uncomfortable. And as I started to progress even more and more further, I had a lot of time to think, and I had to do was I had to declutter my playlist on Apple Music. I had to declutter my YouTube history, and I had to um, try to spend time listening to nature sounds or sleep music as a way to relax my mind and my to help calm me down when I kept seeing many of these artists of K-pop would like to use bigotry views against people with disabilities or try to promote bullying and harassment as a good thing, even though it's a bad thing. And so um, after I went through transition for a while of not listening to K-pop, I kind of said, maybe I should just stick to listening to the old K-pop, which just feels good. So I actually spend more time listening to old K-pop once in a while. Still listen to PSY, I still listen to Hyuna, I still listen to Rainbow, Kara, GNA, and I listen to them most of the time, and and that, and so also, what I basically just do nowadays is I'm a person that likes to look on Apple Music or YouTube videos where I try to listen to different genres of music more where I feel comfortable, like West Coast slash G Funk, some country, some rock, some pop music, some Motown, some 80s music, other artists like Taylor Swift, um, Pam Tillis, and Nickelback, and Cool in the Gang, and also I try to look for songs that I can deeply relate to, that have life lesson messages, whether it's about trying to understand life and their challenges, remind yourself that you're a human being who struggles in life, who wants to do good things. And also, I spend time listening to gospel as a way to heal me, and I do listen to a lot of nature sounds, including say music, as a way for me to relax. And so, unfortunately, I have decided not to continue to listen to the new K-pop anymore. I kind of decided to take a break from it. And also, I've been avoiding a lot of events where they try to promote people who dance to K-pop or be around people who really like K-pop, because I've dealt a very long time, including currently, about being bullied for simply starting with a disability, or um, dealing with being harassed and being spat at and being made fun of for simply just liking some type of genre. So I'm a person who likes to keep quiet, like about K-pop in general, and so um, I am a person that doesn't like to criticize musicians or artists too much. But the thing that I basically am a little critical of is when they like to promote bigotry and hate against people with disabilities, or if they like to try to encourage other people to bully somebody for simply just being different. And that ain't right. That isn't right. And that so. Um, and I hope in the near future that we can have the K-pop culture to be more kind and respectful, and to people with disabilities, and how they should always try to be advocates for the rights of the disabled, because many times people who are different, especially people with disabilities like me, many of us don't have many opportunities like other people do. Like many people with disabilities, like me, get bullied all the time, don't have enough friends. We struggle with trying to motivate ourselves to navigate a society that is broken, that's filled with bigotry and hate, or when we are in a society where it is hard for us to try to find ways to try to improve unhealthy lifestyle, because it's a big struggle. And so um, again, thanks for taking the time to listen to my short little thoughts about why I lost K-pop. Um, some of the reasons why I had liked in the past, the challenges of being teased for simply having a disability, or being different from other people, or simply just because I like certain groups, certain K-pop groups that I had liked in the past. And so thanks for taking the time to listen to me.